No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Host discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin Raw podcast, episode 238. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden, Matt Ritter, and back again this week, Daddy Delgado, SES Vince, taking the lead in the race for Pornhub Poppy because Katie didn't get invited this week. Vince, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Daddy's home, Matt, and back on Pornhub, ready to reclaim my throne as Pornhub Poppy. You know, I gotta make it interesting, man, because if I go ahead and take a 3 or 4 week lead on Katie, people are just gonna assume that I'm gonna be Pornhub Poppy, which I will be at the end of the year.
I don't know. The end of the year is normally when you take all the time off, so she could catch up. We'll see. And we did not come alone, ladies and gentlemen. From Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, the bad guys, we got the villain and old school Joel. What's going on, guys?
What is good, everybody? Y'all, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate you inviting us here. Old school, how you doing, bro?
Living large, brother. Thank you for having us on the show, man.
Hell yeah, you guys excited to make your Pornhub debut? I'm assuming it's your Pornhub debut.
Woo! Yo, I'm basking in the ambiance. Yeah, I've never been here before.
On the podcast side.
We get a tour, right? After, at some point, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna follow around.
Like porn conventions and shit like that. We got you. Don't worry.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, all right. So I already explained to them how this is going to go, but for any of the Heel, Pops, and Chair Shots listeners who have no idea what the fuck this podcast on Pornhub is or what's going on here, we're going to run through some news and rumors real quick, and then I'm going to let them guide us through our weekly review, where I run down everything that happened in the show in my own special way. And then, and Vince, we talked about this. Instead of doing spits and then swallows, we're just going to do our spits and swallows kind of right after the show. What did we like? What didn't we like? If Vince liked something that I thought was fucking stupid, which is probably going to happen, I'll say, no, I'm spitting that shit, and we'll go from there. So let's get into it. First and foremost, Vince has that Black Lives Matter hoodie on. As of right now, I talked to TC. He is leaving those up on What a Maneuver for the meantime while he figures out where else he can get them. So if you want to still go support that Black Lives Matter cause and donate and get yourself one of those awesome t-shirts, because the money goes into a fund from TC and it is donated directly to victims of police brutality and people who have lost loved ones to police brutality and racial injustice. Please go get yourself one. You guys can find that at ykwrestling.com or at ykwrestling on Twitter. Links will be there to go get those. All right, so the Hall of Fame was tonight. Like, my first thing was the Steiners were inducted, but the Hall of Fame already fucking happened. We all sat here, we watched it. How'd you guys feel about the Hall of Fame?
Oof. Is it morning? Like, I think I want my bagel and cream cheese already, man. Like, it was good. I feel everybody said the right things. Steiner didn't go off how I expected him to, which was nice. And very, very shocked at the content of what Taker had to say tonight. Very, very surprised at the outcome of the Hall of Fame. I was focused a lot, and I paid a lot of attention.
Dude, I was I don't know. I was saddened by because I was hoping Scotty would like go wild. I mean, right. I know it was going to be sanitized for our protection, but I thought if there was one guy that was just going to do it, it would be Scott Steiner.
What tripped me out was how small and old Scott looked. Like, I don't remember Scott being shorter than Rick, and Undertaker's like 2 years younger than Scott and looked about 10.
Damn, that's true.
You know what? Gotta stay off the roids, man. Gotta stay off the roids. They killed the body after a certain period of time, but in terms of my feelings for the Hall of Fame, I thought it was good. I liked every single thing about it. The only gripe I have, Matt knows where I'm going to go with this, but Dana Warrior, if we could just exclude her for all future Hall of Fames, I think we'll be fine. Like we can rename the Warrior Award to the Gaspar Award or something. But other than that, like Undertaker's speech was great. He got choked up. The whole thing was fantastic. Steiner's being inducted. It's still kind of surreal to even say that. I could have sworn Vader was inducted like 10 years ago, but I could be wrong. And Queen Sharmell, she deserves it. And shout out to Shad Gaspar, a true hero. It was all good. It was all good. Better than SmackDown.
So you're saying you'd rather see Shad's wife do the inductions than Warrior's wife?
Do we have any disagreements here?
I'm just clarifying. I'm not disagreeing.
I'll take it.
There you go.
Nope. Nope. Not doing that. Not doing that. I knew she had heat though. And as she walking down, I'm like, doesn't she have heat for something? I'm like, she's like, wow, it's surprising to see her here still. And I completely forgot the why it is that she gets heat, but like I knew there's something why like
it had to have been something involving Warrior and defending some shit that he said, because we all know he said some wild shit when he was off for a little while, when he didn't think anyone was going to be listening or watching.
Yeah, we all have some of those, right?
Yeah, but then they gave him a whole ass award, and they were like, "We're gonna put the heroes up in Warrior's name." And man,
of they're all really trying to undo that DVD, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
great DVD, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out.
Also, big news from tonight: Samoa Joe signed a contract with AEW at the very end of Ring of Honor's show tonight. They got Keith Lee, they got Malachi Black, they grabbed Samoa Joe, they got Bryan Danielson, they got Jon Moxley. They are signing everyone that I wanted to see stay in WWE over there. Dude, Samoa Joe, Keith Lee, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, like, give me before Joe gets hurt again. Give me now.
Yep. That's the thing, right? Who's first? Who's the first guy? That's the match, right? Like get that one in first.
Punk.
Shoot, Brian Danielson versus Joe. I haven't seen it in like a minute. Like that would be hard. That'd be a hard match to watch right now.
Joe in the ring right now. Oh man, it's been a while, and then it's gonna be a ROH ring. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
See, I'm really confused about it because so he showed up. He popped up at ROH, but they're saying he signed All Elite. Well, I guess we really don't know what they're actually going to do with ROH. If it's going to be a different brand, if it's going to be a different show, or are they just doing these one-offs?
It's their NXT. It's literally their NXT.
I've been saying, because of the way Tony Khan books and the criticism he gets, that he's just going to put all the black people over on ROH. Like that's where you're going to go see Swerve and Keith Lee. All the diversity is going to be ROH.
I mean, that's what he does with Rampage right now.
That's what it looked like tonight. I'll tell you that much. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised to see Dalton Castle too, yo, at the in the pre-show. I didn't see the card. I don't know if the card leaked that or not.
The card. I watched the card. It was
a surprise.
You mean Dalton's popping up?
Yeah, he came out in the pre-show. I don't know if that was.
No, that wasn't. I think all the pre-show. I want to say all the pre-show was kind of a surprise. Seeing Khan, I was surprised. I figured he was going to be STP. It looked like he's Tully now.
Yo, Tully's making moves.
Yeah, man,
he's making moves. I ain't
we
mad
got
at
dumped
it.
by FTR for more than likely Bret Hart, so we had to go do something. And then last but not least, maybe the only because I am an avid Matt Riddle hater. Just want to let you guys know that right now. Avid Matt Riddle hater. The only
is the sandals.
It's the sandals. It's the gimmick. It's the fact that his name is so close to mine, and I've been threatened with castration because of the bullshit.
Really,
all of it. I get mistaken for him all the time on Twitter. People at me thinking I'm this dumb motherfucker.
I can see how that's annoying. Yes, very much so.
weed apparently has been removed from WWE's wellness policy.
Randy Orton is living his best life right now.
And I saw that before April 1st, so I'm going to take it as fact that now wrestlers, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, can go smoke a little weed and not have to worry about it. Maybe they'll get
might
RVD
make a
back
comeback.
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the RVD comeback, right?
Bring back.
He's the spokesman for the new free weed campaign in WWE.
MSK is probably winning this weekend. That means for sure.
Yeah. Foreshadowing MSK winning the titles.
MSK's winning.
They're gonna smoke up blunts after they get this.
Or as I refer to them, Matt's shitty kids. Anything associated with Matt Riddle.
Matt's shitty kids. I love it.
Vince, I didn't tell you. We also have our topic for the month. It's actually for March. So at the very end of the show, we're going to talk women's tag division, how it could be better, why it sucks right now, because the main roster one does kind of suck. I mean, they're working on it, maybe, but we're going to talk that at the end of the show from Mike Willis over on Patreon.
Yeah.
So think about that, because I just found out this morning and I forgot to text you. So yeah,
I'll
let you know.
It's all good. I like just freestyling it like a Max Cast or Ryan, you know.
All right, villain, Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Dynamite. Where do you want to start?
Let's go with SmackDown, man. I know it's probably the dullest of the week, but it's also the go home, and it was the last show to take us the go home show for the biggest show of the year, and I kind of want to get everybody's perspective on the aftermath now, because it was kind of trash.
It was, and let's get into it. So we kicked it off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that no one gives a shit about because it's not on WrestleMania anymore. Madcap Moss wins, which shows us how big of a fucking joke this thing has become. Then we go Ricochet defeats Humberto and Garza in a banger of a triple threat match. Mela and Zelina lose to Team Bad. We got Ronda training with Shayna in some warehouse somewhere, talking about ripping people's limbs off. We got the Charlotte I'm Cool promo. Everyone loves or wants to be me, and that makes me cool. Ronda isn't cool. And what do we do to people who aren't cool?
Make him tap.
No, we spit on people.
We spit on
who don't want to be on cool.
Nice.
Boogs versus Jimmy Uso. Right at the beginning, Boogs is doing his bullshit. Pat's dancing. Theory comes in, wipes him off the table, ruins his little dance. He chases him back to the backstage. Man kicks open Vince McMahon's door, and Theory hides behind his sugar daddy, Vince McMahon, like the little bitch that he is, while Vince threatens to fire him if he doesn't go back and do his job. This match ends up turning into a 6-man tag. It's Usos and Theory versus Finn and Boogamora. Theory ends up getting the win, and then Pat McAfee steps up to Theory, who's just running his fucking mouth, and Michael Cole's like, hey, like, you still got a couple days, you could still lose your job, maybe just come sit back down by me, you'll be all right. And then in our main event of this lackluster ass fucking show, we have Corbin names Drew's metaphorical dick promo, where he pulls out Drew's sword that was named after his mother, and then he gives it a new name. He calls it Euphoria for some dumb shit, makes a joke about Drew's dead mother, and then Drew comes down and destroys the set and tries to circumcise Corbin's head from his shoulders with Angela. Spits and swallows. How are we feeling about the SmackDown?
I only have one swallow, and it was the triple threat IC title match. Shout out to Humberto, shout out to Angel, and shout out to Ricochet. The only good thing of the show, other than that, I'm spinning the entire program, because if this is what we were getting, could we have just skipped SmackDown and got in the Hall of Fame, and we could have gotten the rest of our evening done so much sooner?
I'm kind of wondering, I didn't check out what was on Rampage, and because it went on after SmackDown, it wouldn't have mattered, but I kind of wish they had ran Rampage against this. And if I had known this was going to be the card, I could have gone and watched Rampage and covered that instead.
Skip SmackDown this week.
What about you guys? Any spits, any swallows, or you just like Vince spitting the whole thing?
God, I spit the whole thing. I was really glad that I had ROH on the other screen, and I was kind of watching back and forth between the two, because goddamn, it was bad.
It was.
It was all bad. It was all bad. I mean, and then it kind of felt like you could have switched out this week's show for last week's show, and I would have settled for. You don't have the biggest main event in all of WrestleMania history, at least on a promo tonight to sell the fight. Like, I get it. You've built all this way. You got to take care of your superstars, but damn, I don't want the day off. I don't want any day off this week if I'm a wrestler. Like, I want all the smoke on every show. I don't care how big I am. Like, this is what it is. This is wrestling week. That's what we're here for. Like, I don't get it. I mean, I would have settled for the crap shoot that we got last week with Brock and Reigns this week. But no mention of the main eventers at all this week. I mean, and then Drew, I kind of feel they're gonna go with Baron Corbin here. This is for the slow Baron Corbin build here. He kind of snuck away. Did he get a win last year, Mania? I think he did. Who did he fight?
Was that last year? Was Angle? Was that last year?
No.
2 years ago, he got Angle. 2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? It all meshes.
I don't remember if he got one last year, but if he did, he wins this year. That's 3 in a row. It's kind of like a slow, like, build for him and his character, try to get him leveled up somehow, because Lord knows the fans don't like him at all. So this is going to take a little extra time to build him anyway.
It's sad when you're more entertaining when you're broke and down on your luck and people want to see you than when you're doing really, really good. Because we've seen guys like $1 Million Man who have this gimmick where they're rich and they're flaunting it and it's entertaining and you want to see him get beat up. But every time Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin come on my TV, I'm like, what the fuck else is on? Like, what else is going on? Same thing with the SmackDown. Like,
just look at Cameron Grimes, and like that's exactly how you do that gimmick. It's literally the exact same shit. Like, they were both broke, or like what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
down on their luck.
They were down on their luck. Yeah,
down on their luck, and then I guess Cameron Grimes invested on the GameStop stock or whatever. Like, that's how he got his money or some shit like that. But it's usually that. But like, and then going back to the whole SmackDown thing, like, honestly, as far as I can remember, SmackDown's always just felt like a recap show, kind of like the pre-show to WrestleMania, the night before WrestleMania. The SmackDown before WrestleMania is never any good. I always skip it every single year.
I like what Vince did with Pat, kind of like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, yo, I'm backing my boy. Relax. You want me to cancel this shit? Yo, I run the show, bro.
Clearly, Vince McMahon loves Austin Theory more than his own son. Like,
he loves Taker and everyone other than Shane more than his own son.
So yeah, remember when Drew McIntyre was like the MVP of the WWE, and this is how far down the totem pole he has gone?
See, now that's why I think he's getting this win, is because I feel like if Roman's the guy that walks out with the title, which I think is the right call, Drew's got to be that next guy in line to go up against Roman.
I feel you.
How do you get him there, though?
That's believable.
I think there's literally no one else on SmackDown
that's true.
That's more believable than Drew at the moment.
Not just that, but like, so here's the thing, the IWC always has these conversations about, this guy, they cooled off on this guy, or they buried this guy, this or that. But we've seen time and time again, you can take one guy and in one match, heat him up. Like Kofi Kingston went into that gauntlet match and we were all ready for him to go for that title. Like, you can take a guy who's not even near the main event scene and in one night with the right booking, get people behind him and skyrocket him to make people want you to. WWE is a master at doing this shit. Just pulling someone out of nowhere you think is obscure or as far away from the title picture as possible. And that within a week, you're like, I want to see that guy at WrestleMania. I want to see that guy win at the pay-per-view, blah, blah, blah. So I know they can do it. We'll see where we'll see where it goes, but I know they can do it. I'm with you guys. Like, I'll swallow the Pat McAfee stuff. I'll swallow the triple threat match because apparently the IC title is not important enough to put on the main card. So they had it on Friday night. But this SmackDown, they labeled it WrestleMania SmackDown. It reminds me of if you go on Pornhub and you see a really fire title and then you click on the video and then you're watching it and it's all bad angles and it's missionary for 15 minutes. And they don't ever move. You're like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, that's what this was. Like, you're clicking to the next clip. So we're all spitting
swipe to the
SmackDown,
left.
right?
Just
We're all
swipe.
spitting SmackDown, yeah.
Spit that
Right
shit.
to the left.
Skip.
Spit this.
All right, old school Joel. NXT, Raw, or Dynamite? Where you want to go next?
I mean, we're on the hub, so let's go Raw.
Go Raw. All right.
that.
So we kick it off with Brock Country ass whooping promo. He says, we're going to go from the streets of Suplex City to the Beast of Broadway to the Carnival with an F5. The title's going to get married. Those titles are going to fuck. They're going to have a unification baby. And I got full custody of that child. Miz loses to Ray. Miz introduces his douche in Mysterio's mask. Logan Paul comes out wearing the Mysterio mask. Dom gets ejected before the match even starts. Then at the end of the match, Dom comes back out after Ray gets the win. They missed the double 619 on Logan Paul, but get the mask back. And then Miz ends up catching a double 69 while Logan Paul just stands outside the ring and watches. Then we got Seth's trip to Vince's office, which Vince was way more tolerant of Seth, like teabagging his desk and dancing all over, putting his feet up like he owned the place, than Pat McAfee, who just wanted to come and whoop somebody's ass and just hit him, provoked him. Seth's doing all sorts of dumb shit. So we find out Vince says, dude, why didn't you just come to me and ask? Like, you're Seth fucking Rollins. All you had to do was say, hey, Vince, can you put me on the show? And I would have put you on the show. We're going to put you on the show. I got something for you. I'm not going to tell you what the fuck it was. You'll find out at the show, but I got something for you. Don't worry. And everyone is assuming that it's Cody Rhodes. Now,
It's Cody Rhodes, man.
There's rumors that Shane is in Dallas. We know for a fact my boy Bray Wyatt is in Dallas, and that is a long shot. It would make me so happy, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Could be anyone. We'll see who it is. Omos defeated the Viking Raiders by countout. Apollo and Aziz lasted longer than the Viking Raiders did. So, like, there's no faith.
Hard to last. It's kind of hard to last long, man, with a big man like that,
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Is that from experience or
no? It just based on the looks and like the body language from the Viking Raiders, it just didn't seem like they were up for the task. They just didn't look like they had the stamina.
I feel like Eric's got the stamina. He's got to put up with Sarah Logan. So, like, I feel like that lends credit to like him having even less stamina because he has to deal with her all the time. So he has less stamina too. Ivar's probably on that Yokozuna diet. He has to take a break about halfway through, dip a turkey leg in mayo and take a bite.
He said mayo.
Anyway, we find out Bobby Lashley is back. He comes down and almost kind of embarrasses him for a little bit, like almost is slapping him around, tossing him around, shoving him around. He ends up knocking almost down on his ass, though, and we find out at WrestleMania, no U.S. title, no IC title, but Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Reggie proposed to Dana Brooke backstage, and she said yes because she forgot she's already engaged. Then Tamina attacks them. Tozawa then proposes to Tamina, and she says yes in like the most aggressive exception I've ever seen. Like, she is definitely the dom in that relationship. Tozawa's the sub. She's the dom. This is their whole. She's gonna end up. I don't know who she's gonna fuck, but Tozawa's sitting in the corner watching.
He likes it.
Wedding night. He's not involved in that marital situation at all. He's sitting in the corner watching.
Ooh,
Speaking of watching, R-Truth was watching from the corner. We got the Roman. It's personal promo. So Roman's here to smash. He's done everything but beat Brock at Mania. Brock beat Roman so badly that no one loved him anymore. Roman took his advocate, his record-setting title reign, his blood. Next, he's going to take his title, and he's going to make it personal because for him, it's always been personal. I'm sorry. Roman beat Brock so badly at Madison Square Garden that nobody cared about him anymore. We got the women's tag title heel team parlay before Team Bad and Live for Brutality, who we are 90% sure are fucking. Like, Liv and Rhea, there is something going on there.
I saw that too, yo.
At least in our minds. at the very least, it's in all of us. Yeah,
Her leg got stuck to her pants, bro. Sometimes
Like,
that happens.
Listen, I see the way Liv grabs onto Rhea. I see the way Rhea holds her. I see them talking about each other on social media. In my mind, at least, there is some strap-on action going on there. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
all the research I have done on this site has told me that they're having fun with each other.
That is 100% true. KO does the "My Stunner is better than yours" promo. There's an Austin tribute video. He says the old Stone Cold is gone and is never coming back. And Saturday, we're not getting Stone Cold. We're getting Steve. We're getting the guy that's been drinking beer and sitting behind a desk. We're not getting him. And he says, Owen 316 says, "My stunner is better than yours." That's how he ends the promo. Theory defeats Ricochet because Ricochet was taking L's up until tonight. We got the Bianca "You Can't Stop Me" promo. Becky tries to surprise Bianca, but gets caught and beat down. Becky catches Bianca taunting, takes advantage, hits her with the chair, tries to pull a Brutus the Barber beefcake and chop off the braid. Bianca is not having that shit and gave her a whole new hairstyle, which a lot of people are loving. Say she looks like Haley Williams from Paramore. I don't know how I'm feeling Becky's new haircut.
You hear that, old school? He mentioned one of your boys.
Brutus,
your boy Brutus, bro. Now see, it's been that long.
Listen. I was never a Brutus fan.
Booty man.
No one loved the booty man. No one loved the.
I love the booty babe.
The booty babe.
Fair enough. Who didn't love her?
As well, she got her haircut though, Becky.
What's even more wild is Seth just sat there and let that shit happen. Like, you're there, your wife is getting her hair chopped off. You don't come out and do nothing.
Listen,
Wrestlemania was too busy dry humping Vince McMahon's desk.
Yeah, right.
That was earlier in the day. That was all done with. Maybe
for all we know, that was an ongoing process throughout the day.
They got tired.
They got a kid now. They got to make sure the bills are paid.
Hey, yeah. Somebody was with the baby. Had to be with the baby. So.
I was gonna say, if you tell me he was with the baby, that I might accept. But there's no way, as a married man, if I'm watching my wife get her ass beat and her hair cut, I'm not gonna go down there and at least try and pull the girl off.
Well, Will Smith wouldn't either.
For all we know, Seth Rollins was backstage laughing at that.
Well, Will Smith would, unless he got the look. Once he gets the look, then it's over.
I don't think Seth got the look.
No, Seth didn't get the look. Drew defeats Moss again. Corbin bails on the match, ends up blindsiding Drew, and that's when he steals Drew's sword. Edge does his Judgment Day promo, and AJ does a "I'm gonna fuck you up" Edge response. And then in our main event, RK Blows versus the Usos. We got Boogamore ringside watching. It ends in DQ when the Street Profits do the Lord's work and take out Randy and Riddle. They are my pick to walk out as the Raw Tag Team Champions. And in my opinion, anybody but Riddle. I don't even care if Randy walks out with both belts by himself after punching him. Just anybody but Riddle. We get a big
Austin
brawl. Yeah. We got a big brawl.
Hatred is hilarious.
But at the very end, unfortunately, RK Blow stands tall after dropping the Street Profits, and everyone brawled themselves away. Monday Night Raw, spits and swallows. What are we doing?
I swallows a lots of it actually. Very solid go home show. I did think it was a little light with the main event. I wouldn't have gone with the tag there, but fuck it, it worked. First of all, that sword shit. Who didn't want to steal that fucking sword since the moment he brought it out, right? Finally, somebody stole that damn sword.
And it's the real one this time, because last time they stole it and it was the fake sword.
Right. And what podcast doesn't have? Did you guys get it yet? Because I know everybody's has the sound drop of Brock's voice when it fucking pitched.
No,
during his promo, because they whatever the fuck, I don't know what he said this time, but the shit fucking pitched again, which is I know hit the internet. But Roman Reigns here, I feel when he said it himself that he took it personal. He is some realism there. This is the moment. This is his crowning moment right here. Everybody's tired of Brock versus Reigns. Yeah, but I get it. But not a lot of people realize that you're not going to get the same version. This is the one where Reigns dominates. This is the one that Reigns gets over. And you can tell by this promo, he's gonna get over here, and this is the one that he's gonna take personal because now he moves on from this. He moves on from you, Brock. You're finally beneath him. He's gonna conquer you now. It's a wrap, and I felt that from this promo. And this is the first time this week I've gotten anything from of a spark going into this weekend for at least storyline wise for the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna call cap on that villain just because I feel like WWE is gonna do WrestleMania Backlash rematch with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I think,
you know, I've seen worse.
it should be the end of it at Mania, but I know WWE way too good to know they're just gonna milk that shit for one more match.
Yep.
As long as there's money to be made, they will hit repeat on this.
We talk about once in a lifetime, bro.
Don't hit repeat.
Once in a John Cena, The Rock.
Thrice in a lifetime, man. It's thrice in a lifetime.
Thrice, right?
Listen, it's gonna be 6 in a lifetime.
The
one thing I'll spit, because I'm gonna spit on this, is Omos and Viking Raiders. Because you remember when War Machine was a thing? You remember watching them from ROH, New Japan. Then they come to
Viking
NXT.
things. The theme song was fucking goated, and then they started with that when they chopped that.
Yeah, and then it became the Viking Raider experience, Valhalla edition, and I don't know what the hell we got, the 30-second finish here, which was
they're
trash.
the Raiders now.
Did they get their title shot? Did they ever get the title shot from the Usos? That they
were
like
so.
It was a pay-per-view, right? They were like, nah, we're not gonna have it.
Basically,
yeah,
like Elimination Chamber, right? I think or something.
They're like, forget about that.
They just dropped it, right? No one's said a thing since, right? I'm not crazy, right?
They might have done it. They might have done it on a SmackDown or a Raw.
Oh, that would make sense. I probably have
it was like on a house show.
Yeah.
Okay, I may have missed that. Yeah. All right, because on a pay-per-view for sure, I didn't see it. I thought I saw it. They were gonna not have.
And you'd think like with the Usos attacking the Viking Raiders backstage during promos and vice versa and all that shit, we got away from the levitating turkey legs and all that dumb shit that we had in the pandemic era. It looked like they were building them back up. They were gonna do something with them, and they just said, you know what? Fuck those guys.
Back burner.
I'm spitting Randy Orton and Riddle every week, so that's just how things go here. Especially with them.
I didn't like him in the main event. I didn't think they needed the last spot.
I kind of like. I know I give them a lot of shit, but I would have preferred AEW style esque, like everyone brawls inside the fucking ring for no fucking reason to end the go home show.
Like chaos.
Okay. Yeah, chaos. Get Roman in there, get the Usos. Get Boogamora, get Brock, get everybody and their mama. Just everybody brawl and just start fighting.
Dude, that's what we grew up on, right?
Get some 24/7 title action on the side. R-Truth trying to roll up Dana Brooke or something. Like give me something.
Yeah.
I think the biggest swallow of the night was Becky Lynch getting her comeuppance, trying to cut Bianca's braid, and then getting KOD twice, and then getting her hair cut. I know some people may sit there and complain saying that that's a heel move, that the babyface shouldn't be doing that to like the heels, and now there's sympathy towards the heel, and now they're both tweeners. Get out of here with that bullshit. First off, if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't ever touch a black woman's hair. Don't ever touch a black woman's hair. That's rule number one. Then you come at it with scissors. You asking to get hurt. You asking for a bad time. Now, listen, everything after that is fully justified. Bianca could have lit Becky Lynch's hair on fire. It could have been straight fire in that hair, and it would have been fair game because she came at her with scissors. Should have just kept in the ring, injure her, like tear a ligament, an ACL, whatever. But come after that braid, it's the end. That's it. KOD.
And that's the thing. This is 2022. This isn't 1991 where good guys are wholesome good guys and they don't do anything wrong, and they wait 20 years to say the N-word on tape when they didn't know what was going on and everyone loves them forever. Like, that's not what we're doing here. Like, if you fuck with me, if you come for me, I want to see you get your comeuppance. I want to see you whoop her ass. Like, I don't want to see you take it on the chin and turn the other cheek. And no, fuck that shit. She tried to cut your hair. She keeps grabbing and touching it. You have given this woman ample warning, do not fuck with my hair. Okay, now I'm gonna fuck with yours. I told you, this is what you get.
Also, too, it serves as fair warning for anyone that might try that stupid shit in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, you saw what I did to Becky, and that was just me being nice. You know, just imagine what I do when you really tick me off, man. Nah. That's what she just what Becky deserves, honestly. And look, going back to that whole notion, I'm pretty sure at one point John Cena has been a babyface his entire career after he got over with the Thugonomics thing. I'm pretty sure at one point as a babyface he fucked Zack Ryder's girlfriend and didn't give a fuck about it. That seems like a very heel move to do. Yeah, he was still babyface. So if John Cena can fuck,
I think
his
that was
best
real
friend's
life, though. I think that was real life.
Regardless, it made it onto WWE TV. You know. Oh man.
And then The Rock made a little song about it and let everyone in the audience know what was going on.
And everyone cheered for The Rock. Like,
that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is. I'm with you guys though. I'm swallowing that. I'm gonna swallow the KO promo. That's KO's build to this has been probably my favorite thing going into WrestleMania. Obviously grew up in the Attitude Era, huge Stone Cold fan. I got him sitting back here from my hometown, Chicago, getting that sharpshooter from Bret Hart in WrestleMania 13. Him coming back is going to be awesome. KO has been killing this, and he's been doing it by himself. Stone Cold's not there to help build the feud. Stone Cold's not dropping people, fighting security guards, drinking beer. It's all been KO. He fought for this, he got it, and he's been entertaining as hell. So I'm swallowing that. I'm going to swallow the Roman stuff as well. I'm spitting almost in the Viking Raiders. Like that was,
yep.
Yeah. Drew versus Moss for the 50th time. Like anything that involved that, I'm spitting that shit. How are we feeling about Miz and Ray?
I think it's the cash grab, so
Yeah,
you can't really complain. It makes sense statistically. You have to have Miz on the card.
It's the obligatory celebrity crossover match, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to have one celeb on the card.
So we have three now. So you got Logan Paul, you got Pat McAfee, who I don't know if we still consider him a celeb, but technically
is I guess that's true. Yeah, he's
then you've got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
Johnny Knox is the other guy. Yeah,
that match might slap. That match might slap. That might go hard. They might do some stupid shit.
I expect some dumb shit where somebody's gonna get hurt. So that's gonna be cool. Other than that, he's not gonna win. They better not win. But who knows at this point? But yeah, the Pat McAfee, I expect that shit that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be a good.
I think that's where Shane comes into play. He costs Austin Theory the match because Pat needs to get the win. But Austin Theory is being booked stronger than Roman Reigns has been. He's beat the IC champion. He's pinned the US champion. He's literally out here winning left and right, and he's going up against Pat McAfee. There's no chance Pat should have against Austin Theory the way he's being booked. Shane's gonna come out here and get jealous that his dad has a new favorite boy toy.
I like that.
And that's gonna start a new feud for Austin Theory before he gets the US title or the IC title or whatever they decide to do with him.
If he comes out on Monday Night Raw and says, "You fucking fired me, and this is who you decide to replace me with," you barely even acknowledge me on my birthday. You write out all these tweets to all these superstars about how much you love them, blah blah blah, and I barely get shit from you, Vince. And now this is who you pick to replace me after you've oh my God, that would be fantastic.
Hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Overall, Monday Night Raw, spit or swallow?
Swallow. Solid go home, man. Solid go home. I appreciate the effort.
I kind of want to swallow, but I didn't really enjoy that much. Granted, I stopped
on the face, Vince.
Oh yeah. We swallow like that,
Listen, no one's saying we're out here gargling it.
Don't taste the shit, bro.
I can gargle it. I can always gargle it. You know what? I'll do what Matt did last week. I'll take it in the face.
Hey, there you go. That's how sometimes
All right. Villain.
Matt, you didn't say what you're doing with Raw.
Oh, I'm I'm swallowing for Becky and Bianca. That was enough to put it over for me. So I'll swallow for Becky and Bianca.
All right.
Villain, NXT or Dynamite?
Let's go with Dynamite, man.
Dynamite.
Let's definitely go with Dynamite, yeah.
All right, we kick it off with CM Punk defeating Max Caster, and then we got a post-match AEW Championship Challenge interview where CM Punk says, we all know what this means, and he don't care which Adam walks out with the title, but he wants one. The Pinnacle, Wardlow.
Does he want one title or one Adam? Because I don't think he was specific as to what he wanted. He wanted one Adam.
You don't think this was specific enough for what he wanted? Like this?
I think that's where he wanted one of the Adams. Is like it's right here,
or where he wanted one of the Adams. He wanted them.
Exactly. Villain gets me. Yeah, maybe he was trying to gesture this, but couldn't really get his point across.
Well, I mean, we know you love Hangman and his chaps, so maybe CM Punk is.
He should be more assless with those chaps. I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm just saying, if you're gonna bust out chaps like that, just nothing but the chaps.
Go hard, bro. Go hard.
Exactly. How can you call yourself the Hangman if you don't let it hang?
Now that's real cowboy shit.
Thank you, Villain.
Cowboy shit.
We got a Pinnacle interview. They talk Wardlow being banned. Jay Lethal loses to John Moxley. FTR defeats the Ass Boys. MJF's on commentary running his mouth about Wardlow. Wardlow ends up showing up, getting stopped by security, and then MJF celebrates with FTR, who, for what I must have missed something because they did not look happy to be with.
They're doing like this weird babyface turn that like even tonight they shook hands with the Briscoes and then they gave them their little platitude.
Slow burn.
And they're setting up for they were setting up for the Bucks on Wednesday, so clearly they're gonna go face in that match.
Yeah. Like I think it started with the feud with the Ass Boys. They were disrespectful and we worked to get here. You're running off your daddy's name.
They're kind of on like this legacy run here. And it's kind of like they're humbled, but they're cocky. There's shit that's beneath them, but they'll still show you respect if you take them to the limit. I don't know.
It's Bret Hart.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Why? Just because Dax wrestles exactly like Bret Hart, all of a sudden he's got to take over his whole gimmick now.
Yeah. And that's probably where they're going, is they figure there's no way FTR and Bret Hart are going to get booed, so they got to turn them face if they end up bringing Bret in. So
they better switch to the heart attack.
Watch out for the heel kicks and getting older.
Speaking of the heart attack, have you guys noticed that no matter who Natty teams with, they always do the heart attack as their finisher?
Oh,
she started doing that with Shayna recently, and she was doing that with Tamina.
The heart, yeah.
I guess
it's the only way she can slip in that she's a member of the Hart family and her grandfather, Stu Hart, was the patriarch of the family, and that she can roll into her Uncle Bret.
And she went through the Hart dungeon and she does the sharpshooter, and like there's not enough to tell you that she's a Hart. So, but I'm telling you, you know how Young Kings Wrestling talked about how Natty clearly has some shit on Vince. Like there's some that is the only way she gets on these pay-per-views. It is the only way. Like, shout out to TC. She's got some shit, and in that contract it says two things: one, you can never fire me, or I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell everyone about whatever I got on you, and two, if you put me in a tag team, we're doing my daddy's finisher, and that's that.
It's good shit because it's not consistent. Like, she'll do one, disappear a little bit, do another pay-per-view, disappear a little bit, do another and she's always for the title, is always in the spot, always a story to it, with a build. Yeah, it's good. It's gotta be some good shit. Gotta be some good shit.
It had to be something with something around the time where they had her farting. Something after that. Or maybe it was when her pants split, Vince like saw heaven between her legs, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna keep you around. Something happened.
There's something there. Yeah.
Dad is trying to get on his sister's good side.
I was gonna say 2 words: Jenny Neidhart.
Oh, speaking of which, if everyone didn't know, Jenny Neidhart launched her OnlyFans. So if you are on OnlyFans or if you're interested in that, go check that out. Subscribe.
That's on here, right? That's here somewhere.
That's not here. I mean, you might be able to find it. Like, they might have a collection. Normally that shit gets shut down because they do that whole legal, like, if you post my pictures, I'll sue you bullshit. So,
oh man, that's not.
I mean, they're trying to get paid.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that I forgot in news and rumors is I don't know if it's true or not, but I did see something come out today that there was a meeting and WWE is now allowing people to make money off third-party content, which would be things like Twitch. I don't necessarily think OnlyFans is going to fit into that family-friendly idea that WWE is trying to do. I wouldn't be mad at it. There's a few people I'd love to see on it, but that is something else that came out today. And because it's April 1st, we'll have to see where it goes.
So who in HR or who's dealing with the paperwork that finally said, fuck this shit. I'm done with the fucking complaining and the dealing with the fucking crying about the third party apps. Can we just let them get paid already? Because we've had Chugs, we've had Paige, we've had who was it? That guy from Bulgaria that wasn't from Bulgaria.
Miro?
That dude, Yo, like how many people did we lose in this battle against the third party apps, and now we're finally just gonna cave in now?
See, you know what the problem is though? From the way I read it in the articles I read, they said they'll get to profit from it. So now I'm like, is the E still getting a cut of it, and they're just making sure they're getting like a larger cut?
Now that makes more sense.
I'm assuming it's going to have to be something along the lines of what WWE said when they originally came out and said why you can't do it is, we gave you your name, we gave you a platform. If you're making money off our name, we need to make a cut of it. And since not everyone's okay with that, we're just not going to do the shit. So more than likely, if they backtrack it, it's going to be like, if you're on Twitch as Alexa Bliss and not, whatever, or if you're being your character on Twitch that we have and own the rights to, we need a little bit of that back because that's our shit.
Shout out to Chugs.
I was gonna say, if you go on as whatever the fuck Tyler Breeze's real name is, and you're not doing fashion police and you're not taking selfies and you're just yourself, go make your money.
Yeah, Tyler's doing that too. Tyler's making his bread out there.
Once a week, this man, we are doing a show. I have guests on. I'm trying to be professional, and he takes a break in the middle of the show to get a blowjob or some bullshit.
I had to take a bathroom break.
Is that not allowed on this platform? I thought I was gonna go next after that.
It's allowed on the platform, but for whatever reason, I've been trying to get this man to open an OnlyFans. Like, I was like, listen, you're on that casting couch. I see you sitting on it. We'll get this OnlyFans going. You're in Chicago. We can run some people through. I'm like, I'll come through with my iPhone. I'll film it. I'll upload it. I got you. Let's make us some money. And he refuses to do it.
Merch.
He refuses to do it.
Put it on the hoodie. If there's enough demand for it, maybe.
All right. So we got Team Taz versus Swerve and Lee hype package for Rampage, which I did not get to see because I was watching the Hall of Fame, so I missed that. I will go back and check it out though, because that's one of the, like, Hobbs versus Lee, Swerve in there, Ricky Starks. Like, that's something I've been excited for. It's one of the only reasons I still watch Rampage is because that's where they put all the people I like, except for Malachi.
That's money, man. That's money.
Jericho's appreciation group of fine fellows, or as I like to call them, the Jagoffs, do their sports entertainment promo. Eddie and Proud and Powerful are actually waiting behind the curtain this week after all the shit they talked, and they start beating them down from backstage to the ring. But the numbers finally catch up, and 5-on-3, the Jagoffs end up beating down Eddie and the boys. Jay does a I Want Real Competition interview because Mark picked Leva Bates as her 30th opponent. She's like, no, fuck that shit. I want to fight. Like, I want my 30th to be somebody. Get me somebody. He's like, well, I mean, we have a second choice. And she's like, well, who the fuck's the second choice? And she's like, Marina Shafir. Who's Marina Shafir? Oh, just yes, Vince.
When did Marina Shafir sign with AEW?
I
was watching Dynamite. I'm like, wait, has she been in with AEW?
She's done a couple of dark matches, and I think it was just kind of a matter of time deal.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if that means that Roddy's coming along in a few months.
That's what I figured. It's a little peace offering.
Yeah. But that's the thing is they're like, oh, well, this is some guy that we're not going to talk about's wife. He was involved in, 3 guys that were also here, and she does MMA stuff. So, like, Jade's like, yeah, give me that. I'll take that. I want that. Then we get Bryan Danielson defeating Wheeler Yuta. The UE, or as I call them because they can't be Undisputed Era, the Undefined Erection, does their stolen titles celebration. They say Jurassic Express and Hangman aren't here. We stole the belts for the fans because they deserve new teams and new champions. Red Dragon doesn't. Yep. Red Dragon says we don't need to be ranked to get title shots. Like, the rankings don't mean shit anyway. We all know it. Like, why the fuck do we need to be ranked? Like, we're just taking the shit. Despite them saying that Hangman and Jurassic Express weren't here, though, Hangman does the most millennial cowboy shit ever and rolls in on a Tesla with bull horns on the hood, comes out.
JBL was rolling in his grave.
And suspect chaps.
What are you talking about? I guarantee JBL's got some fucking. He's driving a Tesla.
He's got a fleet of them.
Yep. Probably with bull horns on him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely got the bull horns on that bitch.
But Hangman shows up, takes out Undefined Erection, and then Jurassic Express shows up. They join in the fun. Everyone gets their belts back, and Adam and the boys take off titleless.
Ooh.
We get a
Strapless.
Thunder Rosa interview. Wait, sorry, strapless? Yes, strapless. They take off strapless.
Yeah.
We got that Thunder Rosa interview. She says she's the top of the mountain. She will defend the title against anyone, even Nyla's bitch ass. FTR has their Who's the Best promo where they challenge the Bucks to a rematch to see who's the best again. Then in the Owen Hart Women's Invitational Cup, we find out that newest AEW signee and the winner of the match against the Bunny is none other than OnlyFans participant Toni Storm. Toni lost. I mean, we saw she had slimmed down a lot before she left WWE, and there were rumors that WWE kind of made her do that, but she slimmed down even more since then. The Toni I remember is not all there. I don't think those shorts fit anymore.
I'm hoping we just get a rebound. Hoping against all hope.
I'm still mad at the false advertisement. I don't know about y'all.
What do you mean?
Oh, you were swindled by the OnlyFans?
Swindle. all that hype.
You got the IG pics, and you're like, wait a second. I thought there was more.
I will tell you right now, when it comes to Scarlett, when it comes to Toni, when it comes to Jordan Grace, and probably Natty's sister, since Natty's in those YouTube videos, you ain't getting everything you want to see.
Unfortunately, not.
You might catch a little something see-through if you zoom in real close and really look for it, but that's about all you get.
I'm good. I'm from the 90s, bro. I got that. I had that cable box, man.
Yeah, man. That's how I watched. That's how I watched wrestling and porn.
What? JR was not like you. You do not need to see JR at all.
Listen, thank God for Mike
his
today.
legendary
That's how I
commentary.
learned about wrestling moves, because he would just lay it out for me.
Villain said he thought nipples were green for
things.
10 years before he saw a real one.
You didn't understand why they didn't shake and bend.
A nipple. Areola.
Then we got the Nyla Rose interview where she called her Thunturd Rosa, and she says she accepts. She's going to be a genie in a bottle, abracadabra bitch, or some dumb shit like that. I don't know what the fuck that was about. In our main event, Darby loses to Andrade. Botcher and Bland end up beating down Sting, causing the distraction. And then Private Party joins and attacks the Hardys, come out, make the save. Another show that ends with the tag team match. And tag teams. It was a singles match. Swallow and Spitting. How we feeling about Dynamite?
I want to swallow Max Caster. I want to swallow Max Caster versus CM Punk. The show peaked at the Max Caster versus CM Punk match, and it went downhill from there. And nosedive. It went up when Toni Storm showed up, and then nosedive once again. Those were the only two peaks of the entire show.
Listen,
for me.
Vince, I don't understand. Like, maybe it's the age difference. I don't know. I'm 35. I don't get what the fuck you see in Max Caster. Like,
it's so bad. It's good, man.
You know what it is? It's on that John Cena freestyle thugonomics, right? Like it's nostalgia.
Thugonomics Cena, I was a
Thugonomics
sucker for that
But
Cena. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing, though. What Cena
Sucker.
did was
without the
Cena-
Jadakiss.
Cena made you have to hear what he was saying without saying it. Max just says everything. There's no mystery there. Max gives it all away. He gives it all away.
Mystery's overrated, man. Sometimes you just want it all.
Listen,
Not this week. Not this week.
All I know is when Will slapped Chris, the first thing I thought of is how is Max Caster gonna put this into his freestyle?
Yep.
And there was the punchline. Everybody, that's why I'm gonna say it was a little disappointing. Little disappointing that he it was the first thing out of his mouth. No build to it, and it's like for that to be the first thing. It's like he himself.
He should have built up to the line.
He shrugged it off. It was not a concern of his. He didn't put effort and time into it. How dare he? How dare?
But I will say,
and he not.
I will say the Z-Pack line killed me. The Z-Pack line killed me.
You know what, Vince? I take it back. I understand it now. I get it. Because every week with these pop culture references, Max Caster blows his load right away. It's never the punchline. He does not believe in foreplay. He does not build to anything, and that is why you like him, because you yourself are anti-foreplay. You just want to get in, hit
Never
that
once
quickie.
claimed
I get
that
it
to be true.
It makes sense.
False narratives.
If you go back and listen, this is very clear throughout the history of you being on the show. Vince is all about the quickie, no foreplay. Max is all about the quickie, no foreplay.
All I said, sometimes you just want a quickie and you don't want to mess with the foreplay.
Hey, listen, there's different warriors
like
out
an
there.
indie match. You just get your shit in. Is that it?
there's no one thing the indies taught us that there's different styles of warriors out there everywhere, right? So we're good. It's all good, bro. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
Yep. Everybody has a style, right?
Yeah, I'll swallow Tony. I'll swallow the match. I'm not swallowing Max's whack ass rap. Not doing it.
John Cena commended him on his rapping in an interview,
and it hurt me. It hurt me.
Yeah.
Damn.
John Cena would come in. He'd talk about, Big Show breathing heavy and all this stuff, and he'd always end it with a swear word, but he never said it. He held the mic up and let the crowd chant it. Max he just gives you everything. Like, there's no fan participation, nothing. Cena was even doing that when he was a heel, and they were still booing him.
It's cable TV. Cena was doing it on UPN. He couldn't say it.
Fair enough.
True that. New PN.
I feel like if Thugonomics Cena was coming around right now in AEW, he'd be going a little bit more hard and heavy with the rhymes and the disses and the
not on the E. They probably would have censored his ass.
No, on AEW. I mean.
Oh hell yeah!
Or like a TNA. Like I feel like he'd be able to like just go ham.
You guys remember that clip of John Cena battle rapping a fan?
Oh yes, yes.
Like, you mean Kenny Dolan?
How cringe is it today? Today is like so cringe for any HR or whatever, I guess, sponsor that they deal with. I guess they'll never air it on fucking SmackDown today.
No.
Have you guys ever seen when John freestyled at a Jersey All Pro show?
No.
Not All Pro. No.
So he showed up with like a bunch of the guys from the E. They went to Jersey All Pro. I still don't understand why.
Yeah. What?
I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it was just weird. And to your point, Matt, about him always kind of skipping the cussing. It was the first time I heard Cena like just get graphic, and it was weird.
Speaking of Cena graphic, I have not watched it, but I'm going to. New Peacemaker, I have to watch it. Like the clips I'm seeing, man, that's hilarious.
My god!
This one, he's been trying to get me on it, and I'm up to episode 3, bro. I'm still hey.
I told you.
I
it takes a while.
Squad. I wanted to watch Suicide Squad first because I want to get a taste of it before I went into Peacemaker.
I don't think you.
But
yeah, no. You don't need to.
You don't need to, but I kind of wanted to. I want to get as much Peacemaker scene as I can before I go into the show.
Man.
You'll probably enjoy him more actually on Suicide Squad.
Yeah, you're telling me you watched that first episode with that woman in the hotel room and everything that happened, and that didn't hook you?
Nah,
that was right. Like the theme song threw me off. I was like, I don't know. This theme, it ain't doing it for me.
But the intro. The intro
had me doing backflips the first episode. I was like, okay, bro, let's go. And then I was just like, man, you had me, and then you kind of you bringing me down, but he just was swearing by it, so I gotta take old school's word for it, man.
It's gonna get fucking weird. I'll tell you that right now.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm ready for weird. I'm
yeah,
ready for it.
Let's go. Let's
like
get there.
All right. Anything else? I'll swallow the Wardlow stuff. I'm into that. I can't. I want to see him whoop Max's ass. Like him saying, "Fuck it, you're not paying me to stay home. I'll show up and I'll fight security and do all this shit." Like I'm on that. Like I said, Tony, I'm swallowing the opening match. Outside of that, maybe the UE fucking Hangman and Jurassic Express stuff was kind of fun and cool. Like the promo was good from UE. Them kind of alluding to the fact that they're really not part of the elite anymore, because they said
right
they needed some new blood, they needed a new group, and we're that new group, but the elite has been there. So there was a little bit of that. I'll give them that.
It's getting messy. It's getting messy with those guys, all those factions. I
popped when Eddie and Proud and Powerful showed up, but they ended up taking that ass whooping. So I'm spitting Jericho. This whole Jericho Appreciation Society bullshit ain't doing it for me.
Before I forget, because I almost did, Swallow Thunder Rosa, her promo was fantastic. Should have had it last week, but fuck Vicky Guerrero and her racist, like green card having ass. Fuck her. Karen White can go suck a lemon or whatever white man she ended up marrying. I'm over her. We do not claim her. She is not part of the Mexican community. She is fully on whitewashed.
Shout out to
Thunder Rosa. She's killing it out there.
Or shout out to our next shooting dish with Vicky Guerrero coming soon. Part 2 dropping in a few months. I like for sure Adam Cole. Anything Adam Cole does is perfect, by the way.
Is it
what?
Is it perfect?
It is. Everything.
That's Britt Baker.
Yeah, everything. Britt Baker was Britt Baker's the first to tell you that. Shout out. Side note. She tweeted something about. I'm gonna tell you something we're not gonna do with these titles once we win them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was that had popped for sure. Danny Garcia is getting having the time of his life doing this thing with Jericho, by the way.
That's true.
They're gonna get so much heat. This shit is gonna go down quicker than the Titanic, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna fall apart, bro. But I'm here for it.
For me, it's 2-point blows, never rise, whatever. Like those guys just don't do it for me. They didn't do it for me in NXT.
It's kind of like what Vince said. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. It's so good.
Well, you know what it is? This is. I see it as a platform for Garcia. That's all.
Right. He's gonna finally have his platform. But yet again, another how are we gonna steal the show again in the mat this week, old school? There's just so many. John Moxley and Jay Lethal. Okay, let's throw that one out there. That's gonna be the match this week. Like, these guys have so many dream matches and combinations. I
actually skipped John Moxley versus Lethal.
Yo, bro, but like even if you just skipped it, you go back and check it out. This is the on paper match that they just throw it in the card that they know is gonna fucking keep you there. If you're if you watch, if you're there watching or whatever, it'll keep you there. And they just have so many combinations of these matches, bro. Old school, like the possibilities, so many activities.
I thought the match was CM Punk versus Max Caster, but I could be mistaken.
That one definitely stole the show. with the entrance alone.
I think that's the problem with AEW. They like to blow their load early.
Yo, what's gonna happen?
And then everyone's like, I gotta rest. Give me like 5 minutes, and then we'll You know what I'm saying? Then they fall asleep and they snore.
And then by the end, and the main event's always like lackluster or like disappointing. Doesn't live up to your expectations.
That tag. Yeah.
Feels like a personal story.
Is round 2 always a chore for you, Vince?
No, maybe 5 or 6 after that.
Oh, okay. 5 or 6 in 10 minutes. Gotcha. All right. Overall, Dynamite, spit or swallow.
Just for Max Caster alone.
On the face. On the face.
On the face?
I'll take it on the face.
I spit. I expect more from these guys, especially on the week, the loudest week of the year, where the biggest company is gonna try to take all the shine. I thought you were gonna either, I don't know, I don't want to say you're gonna take a jab at them, but you were gonna do something special or something to stand out.
No, you know what though? They learned from history, right? WCW, that's why they came up with Clash of Champions. They're like, well, we'll show you a free pay-per-view on cable, and no one watched it.
No.
So like, it's like, you know what? Let them have their noise, and then we'll get back to business.
And
which they're
you know
trying
what?
to on Wednesday, yeah.
Don't forget, Tony booked Ring of Honor, and I heard it was a bomb-ass show tonight, so that might have been that shot.
It was ridiculous. Well, so I already know what the negative feedback is going to be. It's like all the AEW guys went over. I'm like, well, they're the guys that are signed by Tony, so that's what's going to happen.
I felt, you know, who I really felt good for were these announcers calling the action, because even they felt, you could tell in their commentary that felt so happy. And like, I think someone was one of the lady, I forgot what her name was, but she was saying to herself, like, it just feels so great in here in the pre-show. Dude, how long has that been since ROH has seen a crowd that loud and that hype for fucking the Briscoes and FTR had a holy shit chant when the bell rang.
The whole match. The whole fucking match.
And then they went around half an hour and then they locked up for the fucking, like, this was special. It was a special moment. I would love for Tony to take a trip back to the Hammerstein. I don't know.
Yeah, but remember we used to get like ROH tickets for front row.
Stop it. Listen,
$80.
don't ruin this
$80
moment.
$80 we used to go front row. Like, it's going to be like 300, 400 now. Like,
you ruined the moment.
Yeah. I got to be the real one, right?
So here's the thing. I have a rule, and the rule on the Smackin' Raw podcast is every guest first episode they get the freebie. When they come back, you say some shit, I'll mute you. Vince knows he's been muted a lot. So when you're like, he's gonna ruin it, I couldn't mute him. I had to let him get it out. next time I might shut him down. But
you hit old school. You hit next time. That's it. See?
You got it.
Nah, that's our finance guy. He gotta be like that.
I gotta be a stickler.
You gotta stick your taxes. Yes. It's too many tickets, too many damn price tags, too many commas on these tickets nowadays, man.
Listen, we can't go to the strip club after the show if we blow it all in the
That's the new shit he started with. I'm trying to get that fucking looked at now. I can't get around that one.
If I could get my tax guy to factor in my strip club money with my whatever else he's doing, like, that is the guy I want doing my taxes. You have picked the right person. When he comes to you and says, you can't do this because if you do this, you can't go to the strip club afterwards. We need to figure something else out. That's who I want handling my money, because he knows what to look for.
Priorities, baby.
I'm gonna swallow Dynamite. I enjoyed it for the most part. It was a good show. All right, NXT, last show of the night. We kick it off with LA Knight and MSK losing to Imperium. They come in and jump Imperium before the start of the match, but Walter does his Walter shit, slaps the shit out of everybody. Kaylee Ray and Io have a whole, like, we're friends, but we're also still enemies, and now we got to fight each other. So, like, I'm not going to hold back and beat you up, vignette. Dakota looks for Wendy Chu, but cannot find her. Apparently, she was stripped completely naked backstage and then kidnapped, because she found her PJs and all of her shit.
I was looking too. I couldn't find her. Didn't find her.
I didn't even catch that.
You didn't see, like, her PJ, everything
That's
was just laying
PJs.
Wendy
was
is
watching
running
while I
around.
was at work, so I might have missed that part.
Wendy is running around the CWC butt ass naked, looking for her drink and her PJs all night long.
That doesn't sound like a bad time, though.
Not at all.
Tiffany Stratton loses to Ivy Nile. Tatum Paxley, they do a little thing. She's still trying to join Diamond Mine. Saray, or as I like to call her, Harriet Potter, disapparates, shows up on the apron, distracts Tiffany Stratton, who then gets tapped. Ciampa, end of the road promo. Goodbye, farewell. One last go out. I'm not going to lose, blah, blah, blah. Sad to see Ciampa go. And he was on SmackDown tonight in that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We got a Dolph Ziggler hype package, a Cora Jade Rookie of the Year promo where, well, now they added all these really good wrestlers, but I'm Cora Jade. I'll still win. Like, I got this. Like, it's just going to be a little harder than it was.
I think she's winning.
Do you really?
I don't know.
I
don't think so.
I think they're crazy enough to put it on her. They're going for.
She's definitely their long-term project. Like,
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope so.
I feel like I could see Gigi Dolan being the women's champion before Cora Jade.
It's such a like she's a reach like a female Darby. I feel like they're trying to reach.
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far.
They gave her the skateboard and shit. Like,
Yeah, well, that was like they need to give her a shtick, right? They're like, well, she got black hair. We'll make her a skater girl.
I really liked Cora Jade with Gigi Dolan, but I will say this: give Gigi Dolan everything. Give her all of the belts, all of the TV time. Let her give Gigi everything.
But you want Gigi on TV with straps,
dude? I will take
with the
2
straps
hours of
or
NXT
off.
of just Gigi and Mandy. I don't care what they're doing. They can do each other's hair and makeup and nails for 2. I will watch it, especially in what Mandy was wearing this week.
Cameraman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got beef with the cameraman too, though. As much as I praise him each and every week, he botched Nikita Lyons' pin this week.
Yes.
We'll
talk about that. I was going to say Nikita. We can put Nikita in there too. So give me Nikita, Gigi, and Mandy, and I don't need anything else from NXT.
He has to get fired.
Really?
Right?
You don't want butt naked Wendy Chu running around?
I mean, I'm not going to turn it down, Vince. I'm not going to say no. I'm also not going to be greedy. All right. Legado loses to Brooks and Dunn, or for the uninitiated, Briggs and Jensen. Indian Persia keep up the competition, and now we are getting a Texas-sized dry fuck off with the vote taken from the fans for best fake orgasm. That is the best way I can describe what Indy said was going to happen. She said they're going to put on their best and go out there and have the fans choose who is the hottest couple. And from what we have seen from this feud, I can only imagine they're just going to dry fuck in the middle of the ring, back and forth while the fans chant, and whoever gets the loudest pop, pops.
I think Old School called this on a few episodes ago with us. They're slowly, we're there. We were getting back to the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah, no,
Live
we have
arrived. We have arrived.
Yeah,
we're not mad.
It's a regression. It's a regression.
Nikita broke that door thoroughly
one.
and burned it down.
But it's also why NXT is my favorite show to recap, because it's always the most fun to talk about in the way that I do my recaps. But they're doing a regression, but in the right way, because now instead of forcing Lita to go out there and basically threatening her job, Carmella's like, no, I want to fuck on TV. Like, I want to fuck Corey on TV. If you will let me fuck Corey on TV, I will fuck Corey on TV. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So,
and they're like, nah, YouTube.
Yeah. Instead of throwing their sex toys all over the floor on YouTube for a cheap pop, like, no, we'll go out there and do it. And like,
they got the reality.
Have someone willing to do it, then yeah, fucking do it. Just don't fire someone because they won't. Find someone who wants to do it. Then we got Cameron. He's doing this for his daddy because apparently now is the point in his life where he's realized that he is just a huge disappointment to his father and he has to correct it. It wasn't anything he did before this.
He was busy, man. He was busy.
We got a Toxic Attraction promo, and like I said, Mandy, god damn it, that fit. It was see-through without being see-through. I don't understand what was going on. I don't even know what the fuck they said. I have no idea what they talked about. I wrote some shit down though.
They said words. They said words. I know for a fact they said words.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure
They
she
were saying
quoted,
words. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she quoted Bone Crusher and said she was never scared. And then something about being the baddest bitch in the game. But yeah,
See? Bitch is a word.
Toxic Attraction showed the rest of the shit that they stole from Wendy Chu. No one left in the tag division for them to beat. And then Dakota comes out to take on Toxic Attraction 3-on-1 by herself because she's fucking crazy. She ends up getting whooped. And then out comes Raquel Gonzalez, who has completely forgotten about the fact that Dakota cost her the women's championship and all that. Raquel saves her. They hug. A very Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan style embrace. They're going to go on to probably face Toxic Attraction for the tag titles and Stand and Deliver.
Listen, we all loved it when Shawn and Diesel got back together again after Sid jumped them, right?
And that's what I was telling people online that were complaining. I'm like, if you never had a friend that you got into a fight with, like they did some fucked up shit, but then like after time, you're like, all right, you know what? I still love you. Like shit's in the past. Let's move on. Carmelo, the A-champ, does his interview. And then Grayson Waller shows up to basically say that Grayson's is bigger than his, talking about his backup. Ancient Andy, BC Bob, Jurassic Jim, all of these lovely names that we've come up for Von Wagner and that fucking forehead, ends up defeating Blonde Bo Dallas or whoever Chase's student is, whose name I don't care to remember. But he looks like Bo Dallas if he was blonde. And then afterwards, for shits and giggles, just goes ham on Ikeman Jiro. Just starts beating the shit out of Ikeman Jiro, ripping his coat and shit. Thakita Lyons defeats someone that's not important. No idea who this was, did not care to pay attention. I was focused on Thakita Lyons. I was focused on that pin. I was focused on the kicks. I was focused on all of that. And whoever was in the ring, as Taker said in his speech, it was an enhancement match. And she was enhanced.
The ultimate wagon strikes again.
Facts of
Ultimo.
With a botched camera angle.
Listen, you can't get it all the time.
Shout out to Notorious Mimi though, that was the enhanced talent. Monster Factory's Monster Factory's own. Started at 13 years old and now signed by the NXT. We wish her the best, but in all terms, you were fair. Enhancement was correct by all means.
Now that I know who she is, if for whatever reason she's like, "Hey, let me go check this jackass out on Pornhub," I apologize. I was distracted. I apologize. I was distracted. I will pay more attention next time.
We were all very heavily distracted there, it's especially the camera, whose our focus is definitely on here.
My co-host has been distracted for the last 5 minutes.
He's watching the replay.
Vince is doing research right now. All right, this is what he needs.
That like I just come up with these funny recaps and say them, and I don't pay attention to what the fuck you're doing. Like I still see you. I don't know what she's sending you right now. I know you're not going to share them, so just slide that to the side. We're almost done.
You're getting no Pornhub poppy at this point, sir.
I will have Katie on every week to make sure it doesn't happen. If I cannot get your undivided attention for at least 10 more minutes. All right, main event. Cameron Grimes ends up defeating Roderick Strong and A-Kid to be the last entrant into the ladder match. Roddy has a pre-match interview, but the Creeds end up getting a text after wishing them good luck from their mystery vandals. And they're like, oh, these are probably the guys that have been doing all the fucked up shit to us. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Fucking Hardy Boys. Like, good job. You figured it out. And then the competitors all stake their claim at the end of the show. Waller's going to win and Escobar's going to win and blah, 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 blah. And that's how we go off air. Overall, NXT spit or swallow.
I'll swallow the show. I thought there was a lot of good on there.
Yeah,
Toxic
swallow.
Attraction.
I was going to say,
Lions.
but if you take out Toxic Attraction.
And Thakita Lyons.
And then what do you get? What do you got? Then what do you got?
You got
Trash! No.
I feel
Okay,
like
wrestling.
I feel like the only thing I'm spitting is the fact that Delgado lost to Dukes of Hazzard on NXT. Other than that, everything else is pretty good, pretty solid. They built up Stand and Deliver better on NXT than WWE did going into WrestleMania. So
Definitely.
you get props for that.
Yeah, definitely a great go home. I'm very biased when it comes to multi-man ladder matches and shit, especially when tag teams are involved. And NXT is a prominent producer of fucking ladder matches. And that's kind of like the problem for me. Like it's just it's too, you go to it too much. I get it. It's the biggest takeover of the year. I expect it here. So okay, we got it. Don't give it to me next takeover because I think you gave it to me last takeover too, or last big takeover at least. Like it's already redundant now. Like
Listen,
make it special.
They don't have Regal screaming war games anymore. Give them this.
This is why. This is gonna be the first one without Regal, and now it's gonna go spiraling down from here. I feel unless they start doing something different. I don't know.
Regal went from War Games to building the BBC over in AEW. So, what are you looking at?
I think you're missing a letter there.
He flipped it around.
He flipped it. Yeah, he flipped it.
BCC.
I don't know what it really means. What is it? What is it?
Blackpool Combat Club.
Blackpool. Okay. Blackpool. What is it?
Blackpool Combat Club.
Combat Club. See, I medicate too much.
Yeah.
So I'm swallowing Toxic Attraction. I'm swallowing the show overall. Tequila Lions. We talked about that. I enjoyed the triple threat main event. Like you said, it is something, but I think they're trying to make this ladder match a staple of the North American title division.
I'm with it.
And
that's what they should have done with the IC title.
And with good reason.
Yep.
With very good reason. I remember that first one, the inaugural ladder for the North American was fucking.
You always remember
amazing.
your first.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I'm really spitting from this show is fucking. I can't get into Jurassic Jim Von Wagner. Like I can't do it. I can't do it. He doesn't do it for me.
First time the kid's been uglier than the pops in the WWE. Wayne Bloom was nothing to look at to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
The guy, what's this guy? That
bastard child. What?
Yeah, that guy, the bastard guy.
You guys got any other spits or swallows from NXT?
No. Quick swallow for Dolph Ziggler as NXT champion. I'm liking what he's doing down in NXT.
I just feel bad. Like my man got put into the JV squad. Spent the better part of a decade on the main roster. They're like, nah, we're gonna send you back down.
No, it's justified. They sent AJ down before. Now anybody now it's forget it.
They sent AJ down and he did Finn. Like 2 weeks and disappeared, right? Like
they sent Finn down.
Dolph went down and won a title.
Dolph was like they're like, listen, we'll do you better than we did Chris Hero.
No.
So like, we're not gonna make you Chris Hero, but sort of.
It's like duck, goose.
I was gonna say Chris Hero never won a title, so Dolph has that.
He's got that.
All right. Since heel pops and chair shots here, do you guys have a heel of the week?
I had one. Will Smith is definitely heel of the week month, I think, for sure.
Is he or is he the baby face?
Is he the baby face? Hell no, he's a fucking heel, man.
You know who's the heel? No, you know who's the heel is Jada.
Jada's the fucking heel.
Because she made him go up there and do it. He was enjoying, he thought it was funny, he was laughing, and then she gave him the look. And then he had to go do what he had to do. I will say the cameraman.
Yes,
fucked up
cameraman.
Yes, he's the fucking heel of the week. Fuck that guy, bro.
And pop of the week's probably Samoa Joe, because that was one of the loudest pops I've ever heard.
It's between that and Briscoe FTR.
Briscoe FTR.
Because they were up the entire match.
Taker's pop too.
Yeah.
Taker.
Oh, you know what? Fucking chair shot of the week. I already got it. It's Taker's speech.
Chair shot. I give it a pop,
dude.
It was unexpected. This guy
it was. I mean, listen.
Let's think about it, bro.
He's more important than Hillbilly Jim. I give you that.
No,
but the length.
Okay, fine. I get you, but that's gonna happen regardless. Every Hall of Fame is gonna run lengthy as fuck. The fact that you knew he was gonna come out and say something to amends any other bullshit he's been saying in the past couple of weeks, anyway, right? But think about it, man. He's preaching to a bunch of people that we know how toxic wrestling fans are online, right? And we're not the best reputation when we go to shows.
Fair and balanced. That's what we are. Yes.
There's a hygiene issue with some. Like, come on. He came out there and spit some fucking lifetime bars here that I really hope some people actually do practice or at least listen to what he's trying to say here, the message that he's trying to say here that is pretty good. Not the last ones he was trying to say a couple of weeks ago. No, I'm saying now he finally got the platform. Everybody's listening. They took initiative. They were productive enough to have him say things that people should listen to, I think.
Whether it be in your personal life, in your career, or just in your hygiene routine,
right?
Listen to what Undertaker said, take it to heart, do something with it. And he was also I'm a huge Undertaker fan. Like, you could have given him the whole 2 hours and I wouldn't have gave a shit. I would have listened to every bit of it. I'm a guy who Undertaker used to come out at WrestleMania and I would sit there for that entire half an hour entrance on one knee, saluting the Undertaker for years. So
you know who's the heel of the week? That fucking guy cutting onions. The whole fucking thing is a dick. But yeah, man, that's the real heel of the week.
Mm-hmm. All right. What was your guys' favorite show this week? Raw, SmackDown, NXT,
ROH
Yeah.
by far took the weekend so far. I'm mad I didn't get to catch a lot of indie shit.
I was gonna say there was some good stuff out there, like
Texas Pro was fucking killing it this week, man.
For the Culture, GCW, Bloodsport was really, really good this year. Shout out to our guys, Kiefer Bartek, New Texas Pro. They're gonna be throwing up some bangers. Their main event, we got Brian Keith and Josh Alexander finishing up for us tomorrow. Oh no, right now, actually.
As we speak.
I'm gonna cheat and say Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. You know what? I'll go with you on the Hall of Fame because
Hall of Fame was good, man. Really good.
We didn't get a lot of like Booker T and Sharmell was fantastic and heartfelt. Braun just kind of was like, "Hey, here's my dad and my uncle. Hey, uncle, don't say some dumb shit."
It didn't felt long, other than Undertaker, which that's not a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah.
When they were showing the package for like Vader and shit, everybody was watching the screen and shit. Nikki was looking at the entrance like excited and shit the whole time.
He was waiting for him to make that speech, man.
Waiting for him to come out and shit. Well,
I just want to say, and I said this in the group chat, I look more like Vader's kid than Vader's kid did.
Big card.
I'm just saying. If you could have had me out there, nobody would have known the difference.
They kept it short. That was cool. It was what they said was nice too. So,
give me your guys' thoughts on the women's tag division in WWE.
I do kind of have some thoughts about this because I've actually been thinking about this for a while. It's like, other than Live for Brutality and like Sasha Banks and Naomi, they haven't really done a good job of establishing teams, letting them organically grow and not just randomly throwing two people together, which is the main issue they have right now, not just with their women's tag division, but with their their tag division in general across genders. That's the issue. Like, look right now, like challenges for the SmackDown tag team titles is Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura, two guys like wouldn't really picture them being a tag team. They're just being a tag team because they hang out a lot. I think they just gotta like slowly grind and like establish these teams, kind of like what they did with NXT with like the Revival, DIY, like American Alpha. Like, you gotta like Street Profits, you gotta slowly give us reasons and give us like meaty feuds without the titles, like I don't know, just get us invested into these characters like Street Profits. I'm gonna start caring about them more now when they turn heel. Sasha Banks and Naomi, I like that. I like what they're doing. I kind of wish they'd throw in Tamina and really reunite Team Bad. But Live for Brutality feels like a team they threw together, but feels like they fit and they work and they belong together. That's what you need to do. Don't just randomly throw people in there just for the sake of throwing people in there.
Live for Brutality works because we think they're fucking.
So what you're saying is they have chemistry.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a way of saying it. Yeah,
chemistry. Yes,
they have chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, no, I think they're really. You have to kind of have established teams, and that's where really you lack in that women's division, right?
The talent, first of all, like you don't have that. The roster ain't even deep.
Listen, you used to have the Iconics. You had the Huggin Boston Hug connection. Like you had at least teams that felt organic, right? Like now it's just like singles girl A and singles girl B don't have a program. Let's make them a team.
Just even the current champions right now, Selena Vega and Carmella, they didn't have anything in common whatsoever, and they just threw them together and they won the titles.
NXT does a great job of actually building these teams. And you talked about it. And even now, NXT's women's division is way better than the main roster women's division. Easy. But then you get something which I actually love, which was like the fire pit with, I thought Sasha or Shotzi and Ember were fantastic together and kind of made sense together. And then you call them up and you put Shotzi with Tegan, and then you fire Tegan and you take away Shotzi's tank, and then you put her in catering, and she's my favorite person. And I need her back. So can I have her back?
Like now, please? Like now.
Anytime now. Anytime now. But NXT's women's division is far better. And the problem, with a lot of stuff that we talk about, is hopefully it's going to be fixed now that 2.0 is here and Vince and Bruce have their hands in it, and they can kind of craft these gimmicks to what they want them to before they come up. Mm-hmm. Because before it was like, oh, Hunter did this thing, fuck that shit. This is how I want it. And then sometimes it sucked and sometimes it didn't.
Yep.
Most of the time it sucked.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Yeah. I the one thing that benefits the tag title for the women's division, I think, is the fact that you can jump shows with it. So now you can take it into NXT and have those stories. Maybe they should just build more story on NXT for it.
Well, they killed it. They killed it.
Oh, they killed that? That's not what
NXT has their own women's tag
titles.
Oh, that's
man.
right. Duh, of course.
Toxic Attraction are the tag team champions because on the main roster, they said, you know what? We're not doing that shit anymore. We're not going down to NXT anymore. And they killed that shit. So it's ironic, like, all right, I'll make my own shit.
So many people on the roster here, right? Jesus.
It's ironic because now they're going to NXT more than they did before. So
yeah, that was part of
make it make sense.
Fuck that shit. So yeah, I have hope that with Live for Brutality and Team Bad, maybe we'll see. I mean, I call Shayna and Natalya the Submission Scissor Sisters. I don't know what they're going to do with them because Natalya has a new partner every 3 months. So we'll see where that goes.
The finish don't change though, so that's cool.
That's true. Yeah.
Hopefully we see some, but right now, I mean, honestly, I'd much rather have a women's mid-card title than women's tag titles on the main roster.
That's all I'm saying. I wholeheartedly agree.
Fair point.
Because it makes just a little bit more sense. At least you have a workhorse title for the women's division.
There's depth
that
for
you can
that.
highlight someone with. Yeah.
Than there is for a tag division. Like that makes no sense. You have 4 women in the entire division.
Well, and when you think about it, if you take a women's tag division and you cut it in half, you double your singles division. So you got 8 women, now you got 16.
Not if you ask Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
You gotta ask him. Gotta
ask him for the math.
The fact that we didn't get any Steiner math.
So the 16 women and the 8 tag teams are the same thing. Right? Like
it's the same pool. Yeah,
it's the same pool. It's not like
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on this late at night after that long ass Hall of Fame and recording. I had a blast. I'm definitely gonna have you guys back.
I'm about to go play Fortnite after this, man. Fuck that. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you for having us, man. No time. It don't matter what time, man. Anytime we'll jump on.
Plug the bad guys. Let them know where they can find heel pops and chair shots. Let them know.
Yo, check us out. HPC Too Sweet on all social platforms, man. Twitch is live now on Wednesday night lives, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube as well, and IG and Twitter.
HPC Too Sweet.
Vince, before you go, hold on, Vince, before you go, what are you not gonna do?
I don't know. Is this a trick question?
It is not a trick question. The last,
I think I know what what you mean.
Okay.
Find me on social media at SCSNs on both Instagram and Twitter. The link tree in my bio will take you to everything straight talk, and of course, I'm probably gonna start adding the Smack Raw Instagram. But yeah. At SCS Vince everywhere, and then linktree/SCS Vince get you all straight talk. We talk basketball, we talk anime, we talk Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Spider-Man, everything else you can think of. We're gonna talk about it, and it's just a whole bunch of things. We just recently did the March Madness podcast, the ranking the greatest wrestling factions of all time, featuring Matt Ritter, Pretty Kyle from the Apron Bump, Katie from Chili Showcase. It was a fun time. Oh, and Justin from Get Your Podcast. Can't forget about Justin. Fellow Chicagoan right there.
My guys, Get Your Podcast.
So go ahead and check it out. Linktree/SCS Vince. Find it where all audio podcasts can be found. So go ahead and check that out for sure.
You did a very good job, and we'll talk about it. Spoiler for the March Madness: they eliminated the ministry, and then I got really, really fucking petty. So if you want to hear me be super petty, definitely.
And I made a meme out of it, so it all worked out.
I got my feels. I got my feels about some shit.
I turned you into the Jordan meme.
And it's fucking fantastic, and I cannot wait to use it. I need something to happen. I need someone to shit on the Undertaker so I can go off on him and use that meme or some shit. I need it. Everyone listening, you guys can find me at Matt Ridders at MATTRIDDER on Twitter only, Twitter and Instagram, Smackin' Raw Pod. I run the Twitter, Vince runs the Instagram, and that's where we plug Return to Wrestling, our retro podcast that comes out once a month, where Travis makes me watch old school WCW, and I fucking hate it for the most part. But we finally got into the NWO, so it's getting better. It's getting better.
Nice.
Creation World is the banner under which the Smackin' Raw podcast exists. You guys can check them out at creationworld.com, Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World, TheCreatia World. They have Super Flash Hero of Tomorrow still going on, so they cover everything CW Universe. If you're interested in that, go check that out with Travis and Mara. We also have Dungeons After Dark coming back for episode 2 sometime. It's our most viewed episode on fucking Pornhub. Go figure. Like 700 people wanted to watch me fucking play Dungeons and Dragons where they should be watching me fuck on a website. Go check that out. Facebook.com/Smackin' Raw.
Shaming, man.
I'm not. I'm just saying, you go to watch people fuck, and 700 people sat there and watched me play a character with a little puppet doing Dungeons and Dragons and talking about blowing up dicks and shit. Like,
sounds like right up some people's alleys.
Hey,
it does.
All of a sudden, roleplay has no base in Pornhub.
Oh, it definitely does. It has a big base. I've been there. It's fun. You ever? We'll talk. All right.
I'm gonna go explore now. I can explore, right? I'll let myself out.
I'm just saying, Gianna Michaels, Ghostbusters parody. Check it out.
I bet.
For Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, and Daddy Delgado from the Straight Talk Podcast, and my co-host, I am the Warden, Matt Ritter. This has been Smackin' Raw, the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Later, y'all.
Peace.